Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm a woman. Phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. I am a mother. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am an aunt. I am a niece. I'm a mother to many. I'm a cafe owner. My name is Folami Jones. My birth name is Shalyn Folami Jones. My name Folami was given to me by my father, and it's a Yoruba name, a Nigerian name, to which he'd say that it meant respect and honor me. I was actually very ashamed of that name because I used to get made fun of as a child, and it wasn't until my later years, of my teenage times, coming into my identity, that I was like, no, I need to be proud of a name that my father gave me. It has a great meaning. And I started to command it and, basically, live in the name. Well, growing up, there's two different families. My father had a first family with his first wife, and me and my mother were the second family to his journey path. I had the honor and privilege to, be at many of the protests and the sit-ins and his lectures and the late nights of watching him write. And that's huge to who I am today.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I am sitting here.
We're 1979. Growing up in Bedford, where I originally was born and raised for many of my years, was a very racist town. I was the only black student in school of Waverly Road Elementary until my sister came. And then senior elementary, there was, I think, 2 or 3 of us. It was very difficult. And that's when I started to first see myself as a black child. My dad was a powerhouse boy. He pointed it out. He made sure that I knew you are black and you are beautiful. You are black and you are beautiful. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. My mother, as much as I have, mixed parentage, she also saw the beauty in my connections to Africa as well, and how a lot of times that's silenced and it's devalued. And so it took her to also reinforce those ideas. So I'd say, the two of them made a beautiful union in developing who I am and shaping me. I have Freedom Folami, I have Maniania Folami, and I have Burnley Kijani. 2 girls, 1 boy, and they are my world. They help with the cafe, and each one has their own kind of way of doing things. They make the lattes, and the girls are definitely more involved than my son. My son tends to just like to be on the cash and be the boss when he wants to be. But they're a really, really big part of Kwacha House Cafe. I didn't know I was going to own a cafe. I knew that I loved to cook, and I knew that I always been a people person. I'm a social, I'm a butterfly. I'm that social butterfly. And I enjoy being around people. It feeds my soul. And in turn, I reciprocate that. And it's a love balance. Kwacha House Cafe originally came out of the idea of ensuring that diverse communities Marginalized communities had spaces to come. One of the things that my father spoke about that Kwacha House was, it was a social space for people to gather. It was a political space for ideas to be brought forward. And it was a place for young people to congregate, to stay off the streets, and to find activism and understand what activism was. The cafe does that. The difference with the cafe is that it's not exclusive to young people or just focused on young people, but the dynamics of community looks a lot different. You know, we have a larger international community and women's voices are being heard. When I found the space, it was, you know, what I believe to be kind of a divine calling. I happened to be visiting my sister on my way to pick up a book. She wasn't home. And on the way home back to my house, I saw the space for rent, the house, and I drove up and I looked inside and then, you know, kind of stood back after looking at the space and the for rent sign, and it literally just kind of came to me like an awakening, you know, and this is it, you know. And I looked and I was like, cafe, I'm gonna open a cafe.
Like living on a beach, don't run that stressful grind. Just sit back, kick up your feet, meditate upon your mind. While your thoughts be so sweet, plus up your girl and her behind. It's an apple bottom tree, beneath the apple bum.
The way she introduced it to me was, it was one night we met, and she's like, I gotta tell you something. And she's like, look at these pictures. And she's showing me pictures of the house. I'm like, oh, okay, nice, you know, so. And she said, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, basically leave work and open my own business. I'm gonna open a cafe and this is the place. And I thought, what?
I was working at ISIS, which is ISANS now, at the time as a health coordinator.
It was kind of spontaneous. You know, she's seen this greenhouse and was like, that's the place.
I mean, I had just been working for 2 years, so it was a whim. It was a total whim, but it was something that was resonating inside of me, and I think that was my father's breath.
It just seemed crazy, but yet fitting. You know, it seemed like the right thing. It felt right. And I said to her, I said, you know, this just feels like the right move for you, and I support you, you know, the whole way. And here we are.
People from all walks came to this cafe to put their energy, their love, their tears, their sweat in. At first I thought it was going to be like this very revolutionary political space, which it is in its own right.
Rocky was always down. If you needed some backup, he was always around. You wanted him in your corner because he never backed down.
It was also a place to hang out and socialize, play dominoes, play instruments, sew, read, play a record. When I was thinking of the cafe, I was like, something's got to be different about Kwacha House Cafe, because it has got to have a commitment to making sure that it's inclusive, not exclusive, to all communities, all people, all colors, all shades, all sizes, all religions. That comes from a place of love. You know, to have had so much hatred put out towards you, and still find a place of peace in your heart and human love is what motivates me every day. And that's what Kwacha House Cafe is going to do. It's doing.
These men right down me door just the other day. Well, them must say, man, I give us all you got, but you know that I turn them away. Well, I'm holding down my shutters, and I'll double.